That's what I woke up and thought, hey, I'm going to cut potatoes on camera today. I'm here today making a potato salad for a barbecue that we're going to have a little bit later today with the family. The reason why I like to do a potato salad is because potatoes are really cheap. You know, you can pick up a couple pounds of these potatoes for, I don't know, a couple bucks or so. They're usually pretty cheap. So I'm going to quickly peel all these potatoes first. While I'm doing that, I'm just going to kind of explain to you my new YouTube channel that I just started. So my whole life, you know, I grew up in a really big family. There were 10 of us, and from a very young age, I kind of had a love of cooking, and I realized watching my mom that cooking doesn't have to be expensive. You know, you can make some pretty cool and amazing things with just a few bucks. And so that's kind of what led me to my passion of cooking and where I'm at today. But the reason why I wanted to do this channel was because I know that a lot of people out there are struggling. You know, you don't have a lot of money or even a lot of time to cook sometimes, and so if you can save a few bucks, if you could save a couple $100 a month in your grocery bill, then you just paid your utilities that month. So I'm here to help you learn how to do that, and I hope you enjoy, and I hope I can be entertaining while I'm doing it. Okay, so now that I've peeled all these potatoes, I started with about 12 potatoes. That should be a pretty good amount for my little family, and a little bit extra because I like to eat leftovers. So I'm just going to fill up this pot with a little bit of cold water. You want to make sure you always start with cold water when you're cooking with potatoes. So if you start with hot water, by the time you get the last few potatoes in the pot, the first few potatoes that you threw in are a little bit softer, and then they don't quite cook evenly, which isn't necessarily a bad thing if you're making mashed potatoes, but for potato salad you kind of want a fairly consistent product. So I'm just going to quickly cut these potatoes up and get them in a pot. I'm trying to keep them about the same size, but you know, if you're an amateur chef like my wife, it doesn't matter if they're the same size, as long as they're in there. I kind of joke with my wife quite a bit because she doesn't really understand how to cut evenly, and I kind of joke with her a little bit, and I kind of quite frankly make her a little bit mad because when she gets in the kitchen, I follow behind her and kind of tell her what to do, and pretty soon, next thing I know, I'm done cooking and she's left the room. Oh, but it's alright, because I really enjoy cooking. So let's get these finished up, and then we're going to get them boiling, and then I'm going to show you how a few of my little tricks to make this potato salad pot. A few tricks that I learned from just over the years of my friends and family cooking. Just a lot of fun. So once you throw the last few potatoes in there, we're going to put them on the stove and get the stove on high to get these boiling, and we're going to add a little bit of salt. Turn that on high. We'll grab our salt, and we're just going to pour a good helping of salt in there. I'm just going to give that a quick stir. fighting with my drawer here, so we're just going to give that a quick stir, just let that come to a boil. While that's boiling, I'm going to show you a couple of really cool tricks that I've learned over the years. Oh, I need a cutting board for just a second. So, I really like a little bit of onion in my potato salad, but I'll show you a trick that will make your kids not to know that there's onion in your potato salad. It's a little trick that I learned from one of my old friends from when I worked in production, at a production facility. She taught me that if you use a little bit of a cheese grater, and you just grate your onion into the bottom of the pan, or into the bottom of the bowl, and then once you put the hot potatoes on top of there, it just kind of sweats the onion a little bit, and it really makes that onion flavor pop. And it's really good. So I'm just going to grate some onion in the bottom of this bowl. I'm probably going to use about a fourth of this onion. So I cut it in half, and then I'm just going to grate down a little bit. Almost there. It's kind of a nice smell. I love onions. And they're usually pretty cheap as well, so we're just going to get a little bit of that juice out there. So it's not a whole lot, but it's enough. So it's not a whole lot of onion in there, but it's enough to really make that flavor pop. And I'm also going to grate up these carrots. I like a little bit of carrot flavor. I just have a few little small carrots. And you can use the big ones if you want, but these just were something that I happen to have sitting in the bottom of my vegetable drawer. So why go through the extra mile to spend a little bit extra on carrots, even though they are cheap? I'm just going to use what I had in the cupboard. Just grate these up in the bottom here, and just a few carrots, probably about 5 or 6 baby carrots. Carrots so far. That actually looks pretty good. That's got enough. Just a little bit of carrot for color. These 3 I might just snack on a little bit later, but just a little bit for color. So we're going to leave that there. The next thing we're going to add to this amazing potato salad that I just absolutely love. I'm going to throw these away real quick. The next thing we're going to add is a few olives. My family absolutely loves olives, and I actually had a can of sliced olives that was left over from our taco night the other day. It's another one of my favorite foods I'll have to show you guys how to make. But we're just going to take, and we're going to drain all that juice off those olives and just dump them right in there. That was probably about a small can of sliced olives, maybe about that many. You can put however many you want. The next thing we're going to add, if I can get this jar open, my hands are a little bit wet. I'm going to show you a trick. It's called the Captain Morgan stance. You put one foot up here, and you put this right up against your thigh, and you don't fall over. Voila, pops right off every single time. I call it my Captain Morgan stance when I open jars like that, even though I'm not a drinking man. So these are some baby pickles. If they're a little bit bigger, I like to kind of quarter them. But when they're this small, I'll probably just slice them up. And I have about six of these baby pickles. I'm just going to go ahead and slice up and throw them in the bowl. And then we'll move on to the sauce. And that's the great part. My stove takes forever to heat up, so we're probably going to finish up the sauce and then wait for about 20 minutes for these potatoes to get a little tender, and then we'll throw those into the sauce. and in the bowl and just mix everything up, and oh, it's gonna be great. Oh, forgot one other thing that I like to put in my potato salad. That's boiled eggs. So we'll do that at the very end though. So throw those pickles right up in there. Maybe sneak one while I'm cooking. Those are good. Okay, now we can get this cutting board out of the way. Clean up the area a little bit. Okay. Next is the sauce. Now, this is a simple recipe for the sauce. I like to use a Miracle Whip for my sauce. If you don't like Miracle Whip, you can use mayo. I've used that in the past as well. It doesn't really matter, either one. Or if you're a little bit health conscious and you want to spend, you know, and you don't want, and you have, you know, a little extra money, you can grab some Greek yogurt, plain Greek yogurt, and use that. That's actually quite a good sauce for this as well. I've done that before. I tell you, it's quite a good sauce. So we're going to use, I don't know, I'd say about a cup, maybe a cup and a half of Miracle Whip there. Put back in the fridge. And then, real simple, a little bit of seasoned salt and some black pepper. We'll just put some black pepper in there. I like a little extra pepper, don't tell anyone. A little bit of black pepper, and then some seasoning salt. Probably about 1/8 of a teaspoon of black pepper if you're measuring. I never measure anything, so maybe about half a teaspoon of seasoning salt. We don't want it super salty, but we want it seasoned. And you just mix that up all together. It smells good. You mix that up all together. You wait for the potatoes to get done, and we're going to combine this all up. So while the potatoes are boiling, I'll let you take a little break from watching me. And we're just going to we're going to keep an eye on these potatoes, and when they get a little tender, we're going to drain them and throw them in there and mix everything together. It's going to be great. All right. Okay, so it looks like these potatoes are just about done. They're still a little firm, not too soft, which is about how I like it for a potato salad. We're going to go ahead and drain these potatoes real quick. Let's shut this off too. That's one thing my son always forgets to do, is shut off the burner. Tell him he's going to burn down the house one of these days. I hope not, but it could happen. So we're going to go ahead and take these hot potatoes while they're still warm. We're just going to throw them in there because we have those onions that we really want to get aromatic. And just kind of stir this up a little bit just to kind of get everything in there just a little, just incorporate it just a little. And we're going to add this sauce warm. And I know it seems a little weird to add the sauce to the potatoes while they're warm, but I tell you what, this is just incredible this way. So I'm going to get the last little bit, because I am a cheapskate chef. I always like to scrape the last little bit out of the bowl, because I don't want to waste anything. So we're going to go ahead and get that all in there and stirred up. We'll stir this potato salad really good with that really good sauce. Oh, I'm spilling. Oh no. Okay, I may be the messy chef as well. At least that's what my wife calls me, the messy chef. When we were first married, I said I was going to make her spaghetti one day, and just kind of being a goofball, like I was back then, I took a spaghetti noodle and threw it on the ceiling to see if it would stick. Well, my wife wasn't in the kitchen to see me do it, and I just left it there. She goes in after me to clean up the kitchen, and not only was the noodle on the floor, but there was sauce boiled all over the counters and the stove. And Yeah, she wasn't too happy about that. So we're gonna take this. We're gonna go ahead and throw it in the freezer so it'll cool off really quickly. And you just leave it in there for about 5 minutes. You pull it out and stir it again, and then put it back in the freezer for another 5 minutes or so. And you just kind of keep doing that until it really cools down really quickly. And then you can store it in the fridge until your barbecue. So I'll go ahead and get this in the freezer and pull it out every few minutes to stir, and then when it's done, I'll show you what it looks like. Earlier today I was showing you a little bit about potato salad and getting ready for our barbecue that we're about to do up at a park near the mountains. So this is my chicken that I did a spice rub on earlier. It has some brown sugar and paprika and some salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, a whole bunch of other seasonings. I'll have a link below for the recipe. But then I just kind of rubbed the chicken really good and threw it in this Tupperware. I like to use chicken thighs, which they're really cheap. Bone-in chicken thighs are usually the cheapest part of the chicken that you can buy. If you don't like chicken thighs, you can usually find some chicken breasts on sale every once in a while. But personally, when I'm grilling, I really love a good chicken thigh. And it's cheap. I'm a cheapskate. And I threw it in a Tupperware because I could use a bag, but then I got to throw that bag away. That's a lot of money. So I just throw it in my Tupperware. And then I wash the Tupperware later and throw more chicken in it. Alright, so let's throw this in the cooler and let's head up to the park and get some grilling on. So, the briquettes are ready now. The grate looks pretty hot, so I'm going to show you a really cool trick that I learned from my Samoan friend. I have to tell you a little story about him too. So, if you take a cut onion, you just kind of rub it back and forth across the grate this way. The fumes not only get up in your eye. Whew. Yeah, you want to stand back when you're doing this. But it cleans off the grate. It kind of leaves a little bit of onion flavor to the grill. So when you're cooking, you get a little bit of an onion flavor on the grill. Ooh, that is really, really hot. That's ready. All right. So I'll throw that in the trash. Okay, so now I'm going to throw the chicken on. Okay, so I have this spice rubbed chicken I was showing you a little bit earlier. We're just going to throw that right there on the grill. Oh, this is so good. I'm so excited. Eating cheap doesn't have to taste bad. Just saying. All those fast food dollar menu store places, just skip them. Cook cheap. Alright, so we're gonna let these cook for a few minutes on this side, and we're just gonna keep rotating them here every couple of minutes and until they're done. Okay, so we're just gonna flip these. Look at how good those look. Oh, yeah, look at that. And the thing about charcoal you gotta understand is that sometimes it gets a little hot on one side and not on the other, so you just kind of rotate your meat around, and then you can get a nice even cooking if you just keep rotating your meat around from the hot spots to the cold spots. And you just keep rotating it around, and there was absolutely no rhyme or reason the way I just rotated those, but I just rotated them around. We're just going to let them cook on that side for a little bit, and when they get close to done, we'll slap some barbecue sauce on them. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and slap a little bit of barbecue sauce on each one of these and kind of spread it around. Spread the barbecue sauce around, get it nice and marinating in there, and I'm just gonna finish it off for the next, I don't know, maybe 10-15 minutes, and just rotate it every couple of minutes and lather some barbecue sauce on each side every time I rotate it. Alright, so they've been cooking a couple minutes on that side, so I'm gonna go ahead and flip them over, get some more barbecue sauce on top. starting to look really good now. A little bit more barbecue sauce. Spread that around really good. Oh, chicken is one of my favorite things to cook on the grill, I tell you what. It takes me back to my good old days with my Samoan friend I was telling you about. This one day we were cooking and it was a really hot summer day. And we were just dying. We were just dying of sweat, and it was so hot, and the sun was beating down on us. And I was getting the grill all ready, and he turns to me and said, "I'll get this going. I'm gonna go grab my canopy." I'm like, what the heck is a canopy? So I wasn't sure what he was talking about. Well, he runs over to his garage and brings back a canopy. I'm like, oh, a canopy. Ever since then, I've been calling it a canopy. We had a good fun time grilling that summer. We grilled a lot, and we had a really good time. So he's one of my good friends. All right, so we've been cooking this for a little bit, basting it quite a bit, flipping it back and forth every couple of minutes or so and basting. So we're just going to give it one more baste. Chicken's pretty much done. We just want to get a nice, good caramelization from this barbecue sauce on the outside. So this is the last time I'm going to baste it. Then I'm just going to let this sit here for a couple more minutes, and we're going to pull these off, and we're going to enjoy. Alright, so this chicken is definitely done. We're going to go ahead and just pull it all off and throw it on this plate and serve it up with the potato salad that I made and some veggies that I brought, and we're going to enjoy. So let's just get this on a plate and take this over here, and it's all going to topple off. I hope not. Alright. Alright, so we have this yummy potato salad that I made earlier. We're going to go ahead and throw some potato salad on your plates there. Oh, you guys definitely need to get some of this potato salad. This looks good. And a little bit more. I'm going to give myself a little potato salad. How's that potato salad?
That's amazing. I haven't tried it yet. Wait. It's like really good.
It's like really good. Do you guys want some of these veggies?
No.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. How about you try that chicken?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's your favorite. I know that.
Isn't the potato
Wait, do I
salad
have to use
just
my
good
fingers?
enough?
You can use your fingers. You can cut into it however you want. I'm gonna put some veggies on my plate.
I have to be fancy dancy for this.
There you have it. That potato salad's so good. Look at this chicken. And all of this whole entire meal, for the four of us, I think it cost us under $10. Oh, that chicken's really good. Good food doesn't have to cost a lot of money. Take 1537. Okay, so I'm just gonna dump a whole bunch of charcoal in this grill. Oh wait, stop, back up, stop, cut. And blah blah blah, and we're gonna cut all this stuff out, right? Me blobbing and blobbing and blobbing. And blah blah blah, and cut more potatoes, and blah blah blah. Cutting more potatoes. So much fun cutting potatoes on camera. Okay, so we gotta clean this grill here because it's really dirty and it's nasty. And we might want to go to a different grill because this one's so nasty, and I don't know where to put all these charcoal things. Oops. It looks like it's mostly dirt anyways, like somebody's throwing sand up in here. Up here on the hills, the Cedar Hills, to grill up some chicken that I showed you about a little bit earlier. So I have some charcoal in this little charcoal grill that I'm just going to go ahead and light up. And not only was the canoodle on the floor, but there was sauce boiled all over the counters and the stove. So we're going to let we're going to let this fire just kind of percolate a little bit and get really, really hot. And we're just going to get this thing really, really hot, and the briquettes warmed up and nice and toasty, and then we'll get some grilling on. I'm gonna make fun of my wife while I cut potatoes on camera in front of everybody. Hopefully we cut that part out. Hey, my name's Alan Lowe. I am the Cheapskate Chef. Hi, I'm Alan Lowe. I am the Cheapskate Chef. Hi, I'm Alan Lowe, the Cheapskate Chef. Hi, I'm Alan Lowe. I am the Cheapskate Chef. And as you can see, wait, I already did the introduction. Why do I have to introduce myself every time I get on camera?